All right, so this is, sorry. This is your plan for the week. Obviously today is Tuesday. Sophia Patino, can I see your screen again, please? Okay, thank you. What'd you get kicked out? Okay, so, today's obviously Tuesday, the Block B day, so we're going to obviously do our Zoom call and then go over your review for your test, which is Thursday. So on Thursday, please, a couple of things. One, make sure you're on time, even early. If you can get in a couple minutes early, I'll open up the waiting room and I'll start to let you guys in early, because remember, I need to see your workspace. So you want to be secondary device, not your iPad far enough behind that I can see your face and your workspace. And then you can also have a calculator, you can have your notes, you can have scrap paper. So that's what you can have in front of you. I would say that like today, maybe like try to, I don't even know if you want to go off the review from the video or the review from the homework, but something that condenses your note into like maybe one note, maybe combine those two, so that you're not going in and out of notes and then like killing your time by digging through notes. You just don't want that to happen. But you can obviously have your notes on Notability, and then but you also have to be taking your quiz on Canvas. So I would recommend taking it through the web. And then this time you're gonna have to submit your work for that last question. So you can either, if you have like two pieces of paper side by side, take the picture of it, just make it so that I can see it. Okay, that's Thursday. So for today, I just want to go through the review. And then honestly, Friday, if everybody's here on Thursday, I'd love to be able to go over the test with you on Friday. It will depend on if there's any makeups. And then also, we're still waiting to hear like on finals and when the rotation of testing. Like I know this is my testing week, but I don't know if in 2 weeks I need to plan to test again. We're kind of waiting to hear all that stuff. To be able to know if on Friday I need to send you away with the next section, or if we can hold off and I can teach it on Monday. By that time, obviously by Friday, I'll know that information. But we're right now like waiting to hear what they're doing with the schedule. Okay. Any questions? Yeah, go ahead, Gio. Wait, hang on. Let me put my volume on. Sorry, it's really low. Okay, go ahead. That's a really good question, in which I have forgotten because I have made so many tests. Hang on, let me jump in there. I want to say it's 10 or 11, but I'm going to double check right now. Some of it's multiple choice, some of it's open-ended. The open-ended ones would be like, like where you're just typing in the number. That's the only difference. Test is, wait for it. 10 questions, and then the question number 11 is your work. So 10 questions. You're welcome. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4 that are open-ended where you're going to actually type in the value without the units, and then the rest of them are multiple choice. Most of them, and they'll tell you, but it'll either say to round, so those are the ones you have to use your calculator for, or it will say to keep it in terms of pi. The keep in terms of pi ones are multiple choice, because I didn't want to have to worry about you guys typing pi in from the equation editor. So it's either going to be all numbers, it's a completely numeric answer, or it's going to be multiple choice. Answer your question. Yeah, okay. All right, so this is your review. Obviously, I would say that this is a good note to keep handy, that has all of your formulas right on it, the prisms, the pyramids, the cylinders, and the cones. There are, if you think about it, there is at least one of each one that is area. There's at least one of each one that's volume. That makes up 8 of your questions. And then the other 2 are one is like a composite figure where there's 2 of them put together, and one of them is like one of the prisms that has a different base than just rectangular. Won't happen. It won't happen. It's either going to be a whole number or it's going to be one that tells you to round. There is one that says that. So you're going to use pi on your calculator and you're going to round it. The over, anything that's got a fraction is on the multiple choice part. So just be really careful, because obviously 10 questions, that means that they're all worth a big chunk. You don't want to make a mistake and not show work. If there is work within reason and it's like one little mistake, I'm going to try to give you back some partial credit. But you definitely want to make sure you're showing work and it's organized. So like number 1, and here's the work for number 1. Number 2, here's the work. Because if I can't find it and I can't give you back that credit, that's 10 points gone just from a question. So you want to be really, really careful. Add to this is your triples. 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 10, 5, 12, 13, 7, 24, 25, and 8, 15, 17. Those are the ones that we've seen the most often. Okay, and obviously those are ones, if you have those written out, that's easy to just reference. It's not to say that all the triangles are going to be perfect, but that is that all the... Brian, what is so funny? but they are, you could see a triple. I would say you'll at least see one triple. Okay, here is the first page after, obviously, the formula sheet. So let me go question by question, and if you want me to work anything out, let me know. I can post these on the assignment itself, but also I wanted to work them out if you have questions. So number 1 was the total area of a rectangular prism with the dimensions 8, 6, and 5. Total area would be 2b plus pH, and you should have gotten 236 feet squared. So this is an example of, like, if it had asked for it on Canvas and it was open-ended, you would literally just have written in 236. That's it. No units, whole numbers. Number 2, find the total area of the square pyramid with a base edge of 8 and a height of 10. So you, for this one, had to figure out what your slant height was. This is the Saccharin Theorem. This was not a triple. So that's what you would want to find slant height, which was 2 root 29. And then B plus 1/2 PL is 64 plus 32 root 29. Questions on either of those? Okay, number 3, the total area of the right triangular prism. Okay, now it's 2b plus pH. To get the area, you already have the area of the base. You already have the height and the base of the triangle. But to get the perimeter, you had to do the Pythagorean theorem. So actually, another thing that you would want to add, I would say even add it to... Okay, so for the total area of the right prism, it should have been 1,848 units squared. Another example of an open-ended question. So you could see it as, you could write it this or this. If there's a question that has a unit that's bigger than 1,000, I put both. That would be right, so don't stress about the format of the answer. Number 4 says find the surface area of the prism. This time it's an isosceles triangle. So to find the area of the base, we did 1/2 base times height. And then you already have the perimeter because you know all the sides. So then the surface area is 200 centimeters squared. Number 5, surface area of a cone with a radius of 8 and a height of 6. 144 pi units squared. Everybody still good? Okay. Number 6, surface area of a cylinder with radius 6 and height 4. 120 centimeters squared. Remember, the cylinders are like the saving grace. Those are the easy ones. Okay, so 4 is surface area of the prism, right? So 2b plus pH is the formula for the prism. And then the base on this is this triangle here. It's actually an isosceles triangle, But to find base area of a triangle, as long as it's got the height, right? If it didn't have the height, I would use 1/2 ANS, but this one has the height, so it's 1/2 base times height. Little b being base of the triangle. So when I look at the triangle, the base would be 6. The height would be 4. The height's got to be the perpendicular one. So this would be 3 times 4, or 12, and that's the base area. Then to find the perimeter, you're going to add up all the sides of the base. So the perimeter would be 5 plus 5 plus 6, or 10 plus 6, which is 16. So then when you put it into your equation, which is 2b plus ph, it'd be 2 times the base area plus the perimeter times the height of the prism, which is 11. So this is 24, and that would be 176. And then you add those two together, and you get 200. Any other questions you want me to go over? So to find the area of this, the area would be 2b plus ph, which is what was worked out over here, right? The base, this is a right triangle. So b is 1/2, the base is 24, the height is 7, or 12 times 7, which is 84. That's your b. And then you have to use the Pythagorean triple to find the last side to get the perimeter. So perimeter is 7 plus 24 plus 25, and the perimeter is 56. And then I plug it in here. 2 times 84 plus perimeter times the height of the prism, which is 30. And that gives you this 1848. To get the volume of it, I would just do the base area times the height. Base area we already found was 84, and then the height is 30. So 2,520 units cubed would be the volume. So you got to use a 1/2 base times height. So same here. This is also a triangular pyramid, okay, which we worked out. If it wanted the volume of this one, the base area we found was 12, and then the height's 11. So it would have been 132. That's at 3. Okay, number 7. Volume starts. So the volume of a triangular prism is base area times height. The triangle on the bottom is the base, well, on the front actually, is the base. So the area there was 40. And the volume would be 40 times 20, or 800 centimeters cubed. Number 8, volume of a prism. Length times width times height. If it's a rectangular prism, which is 686 feet cubed, the answer would just be 686 if it was without the units. Okay, number 9, find the volume of the cylinder. Pi r squared h is 1600 pi centimeters cubed. Number 10, volume of a cone, 314. So this one said to use 314 as pi. Make sure you read instructions like that. And it said round to the nearest tenth. So if there was a decimal, I would only have kept one decimal place. 11, find the volume of the pyramid, 1/3 base area times height. The base is a rectangle, so the base area is 5 times 420 times the height, which is 6. And then the last one, it was an example of a composite figure. So this is 2 solids added together. We had to find the volume of the cube on the bottom. So the bottom was a cube. Length times width times height, or 4 times 4 times 4. And then the top was actually half a cylinder. So if you did the area of the cylinder, it was pi r squared h, which is 16 pi. Cut that in half, and it's 8 pi. and then add it to the volume of the cube. Again, it said use pi on your calculator. So I would have waited until this moment to use pi. Don't use pi up in here and then round it. Wait till the end. I would have done 8 times pi in the calculator, and then I would have added 64 to it, and then round to the nearest tenth means you're going to keep 1 decimal place. All right, questions on any of the review? Everybody feeling pretty confident? Yes. Go ahead. Why is my volume keep going right now? Sorry, say that again. I couldn't hear you. 4, sure. Find the volume of the square pyramid. So it gave you the height and the slant height, which is 10 and 12. So this is, you have to find use the Saccharin Theorem to find the bottom side, right? So it would be 10 squared plus, it's going to be only half the side, but let's just say it's x squared equals 12 squared, 100, 144, x squared equals 44. X would equal the square root of 44, which is 2 root 11. But that's half the side length. So I have to double it. And I get 411. And that would be the entire base area. I mean, the base edge. So I would get the B is going to be 4 root 11 squared. Or 4 root 11 times 4 root 11 because it's a square. 4 times 4 is 16, 11 times square root 11 times square root 11 is 11, and this is 176. So that's the base area. Then multiply that times the height, which is 10, and it's 1/3 the base area times the height, right? Because it's a pyramid. So it'd be 1760 over 3, which is that second option there. So you had to use the slant height, the height to get half of the side length, and then you had to double it to get the rest of it. Triangular prism, because I don't understand how to get the surface area or the volume. Okay, Marcel, are we talking about a right triangular prism or equilateral triangular prism or an isosceles triangle? Like, that would be